Welcome to Money Month, where you're going to get all the information that you need to change your financial life. Here we go. And welcome to the Nikki Jencen Show. Make it rain. I wish I had real money right now.
Our guest today comes all the way from Sydney, Australia. Sylvia Chierchia, wife and mom of 3 daughters, was needing a change in her life. That's when her and her husband decided to make a career change. They wanted to take control of their financial life and remove salary caps. As Sylvia started working with friends and family on fixing their finances, she quickly realized money can be the root to most people's issues. To help the masses, Sylvia started coaching women so they could get a handle on their finances, and she could see the impact it made in their marriage, parenting, and overall quality of life. Her mission is to empower women to transform their relationship with money, to increase their earning potential, and to create the financial future they desire. Welcome, Sylvia Chierchia. Sylvia, thank you again for coming on the show and coming on from Australia. So. Yes. I'm excited to kind of take the show international.
Yeah.
And, we're talking about, money and how that really ties in emotionally and physically. I know for myself, money can really take a toll on someone's life. Let's talk about debt for a second. What does that do to somebody's psyche? It can be devastating. So I'm glad that you're on as our money expert and can share your insight on how to really improve one's financial life. I know that people are going to be tuning in and being like at the edge of their seats, waiting to hear what you have to say. So, what happens with women emotionally and physically and psychologically when they feel that they're out of control with their money?
I mean, it's such a massive, massive subject.
Yeah.
A lot of the time, women gone to school, to college, and got a job, and, they have a certain amount of money. When you're working, you can kind of balance or juggle your finances somewhat. I know a lot of people do go into some consumer debt and stuff like that, but you can kind of manage it. When a woman ends up becoming a mum and staying at home, the dynamics change with her relationship with her partner, with her relationship with finances, with her relationship with herself. And it just opens up so much stuff. And when they're used to having an income and then suddenly they don't, for a while perhaps, it can really cause a lot of stress and anxiety. And sometimes when a woman is at home being a mum, she somehow gets to be the director of finances for the household. And it's something that maybe she never even asked to do, but somehow she's got that job and she's trying to balance, the household with one wage, and so it can open up all sorts of stuff. And it's not always, really positive. And for some women having to justify their expenses if they're not working, if they're a mum, it can be really, really hard for them to deal with. And so, money can just become a cause of such stress and anxiety. And it's something that I think all women just really need to deal with because we don't want to be feeling that way. Being a mum and having kids is one of the most important jobs. And so that conversation needs to happen so that women can start feeling differently about it.
I think for a lot of women, what we do is when we go to bed, we start to worry about money. We start to have that elephant on our chest going, when I wake up in the morning and I know that I'm not going to be able to, do X, Y, Z because I don't have control over my finances. And then when you do wake up, then it's that anxiety all over again of how am I going to make it through the day without any money? And money can it seems like it's a never ending thing on our minds.
Yeah. And it's the same with a lot of people. And I think there's a misconception that, that if you're a mom or if you're living on one wage that, you're worrying about money, but everyone else is okay. Most people, their whole life is dictated by money. And it's something that, a lot of people don't even think about, but all your choices and all your decisions are wrapped up in how much money you have or how you're actually managing the money that you have. And so someone who's earning like a six-figure wage or multiple six-figure wage doesn't necessarily mean that they're worry-free. Some of those people are in even more debt and more stressed out about finances than the person who's at home living on one salary. So it is a global issue. It's just something that everybody kind of deals with. And we were never taught about money at school. I don't know what it's like over there, but certainly no one teaches kids about money at school. Rarely was it spoken about at home. And when money was talked about at home, oftentimes it involved parents fighting about it, or it involved arguments, or parents just really disconnecting and not talking about it at all. And so there's been no financial education. And so everyone thinks that they've just got to somehow muddle through this and manage it. And it just doesn't work that way. Everyone's highly stressed out. And that's why we're having these conversations.
Yeah. Well, tell me how you fix that.
Okay, so the most important thing is to really just become aware of your feelings around money. When I'm working with women, this is one of the first things that we do, is we look at what they're actually thinking and believing about money. What was their family blueprint? What did their parents do? How did they manage it? How is it affecting their life? How is it affecting their decisions? And sometimes just this is something that, again, that not many people really sit down and think about. And so when they do, they go, oh yeah, my mum used to do that, or my dad used to say that, and now I'm doing it. And just becoming aware is the number one thing that you can do. Really look at what you've been thinking, the conditioning. Rich people are greedy, corrupt, doing terrible things in the world. Money is the root of all evil. There are so many things, so many negative connotations with money. Really have a look at what you're thinking and how it's playing out in your life.
So
that's the number one thing.
That would be called the mindset.
Yeah.
So that would be a negative mindset that they're in, kind of triggered from their childhood belief system.
Yeah. And it's something that really, you're just on autopilot. It's something that you absorbed, and it happens at a very young age. Between like 4 and 7, you've already adopted some ideas around money from the people that you've grown up with. Sometimes it can be positive, but rarely is it. Always something going on, in the background. So that's the number one thing, just to really become aware of it, and then think about what you actually want. So if you grew up in a household that said, rich people aren't like one of us, and they're corrupt and whatever, and you think, well, no, they're not. Having more money allows you to help more people and to do good in the world. Then really think about what you want to believe, so that you can change that, so that you're not just at the mercy of your conditioning, that you can actually make an empowered choice. Well, no, that's not actually the truth for me. This is the truth for me, and then I'm going to now proceed with this way in my life. And they're just simple mindset things that you can do.
What if somebody is looking at their accounts and looking at their debts and just going, this is my fate, this is my destiny, how can I get out of this? How can I not be in anxiety every day, all day, when I have this to face?
Yeah. Well, again, it comes down to what you're thinking and what you're focusing on. Focusing on debt creates more debt. Focusing on worrying about money creates more money drama. So be really mindful about where you're taking your mind and what you're allowing your reality to become. If you are really looking at your financial situation thinking there is no way out, it's bleak, it's ugly, there's nothing I can do, that will be your reality. You will see more evidence of that. But for the people, and everybody knows someone who has changed their reality, who has done something different, who has turned their life around, and you can do the same. You really just have to focus on what you're thinking, what you're saying to yourself, and really look at opportunities out there to change this, to ways that things that you can implement to get out of debt, things that you can do to make more money. There is always something out there. And that's and really focusing on those things will really change your reality and change the outcome. Most people are not looking to become multimillionaires. They're just looking to not have to worry about money all the time. And a way to do that is to really become aware of your finances. I can't tell you the amount of people that I work with who come to me and tell me they're stressed, they're worried, they've got this, they've got debt, whatever. And then I say, well, tell me about what is going on in your financial situation. And they can't answer the question.
Yeah.
So, they need to really look at what's going on. If you have debt, how much do you have? What kind of repayments can you make? How quickly can you pay that off without focusing on that so much that you're consumed by it? But what can you do? Can you consolidate? So that you can at least get out of that situation, so that you can start to think about creative ways to make more money. Perhaps for women at home, I work with a lot of mums who have created a business at home with their kids because they have the time, or not, they don't always have the time, but they have the desire. And so then they think about, well, what could I do? How could I, use my skills that I have that I've gained to kind of do something from home and make more money? So you really need to be aware of your financial situation. Have a look. So many people do not want to look. They want to pretend it's okay. They want to bury their head. And that doesn't solve anything. So really sit down and have a look. If you need to look with your accountant, your bookkeeper, your financial planner, your husband, whoever, sit down with someone and just really go through it and know what steps you can take to make small changes. You will not fix this overnight. And in a world of magic bullets and instant gratification, we want our financial situation to miraculously fix itself overnight. And it won't. But small, gradual steps in the right direction will see a massive transformation over time, and that can be that weight off your chest in the middle of the night.
What I heard is, really taking control and saying, look, I'm gonna, like you said, not bury my head, and start to really look at it. And that's, I think, where the biggest problem lies, is that we're burying our head in the sand. Because I can say that from my own personal life, is that I buried my head in the sand. I didn't want to take a look at it. I didn't want to look and see, how much I was actually in debt. That's another weight that you have to bear on your shoulders. But then speaking about it and saying, well, what can we do?
Yeah. And I really say, okay, we'll get out your bank statement or your credit card statement and let's have a look line by line. What are you spending your money on? And so many times people are spending money on things that they don't want, they don't need, they don't use. And, these are all things that can be cut. I'm not a huge advocate of cutting out things like that you add joy to your life. I absolutely hate it when someone says to me, cut out your daily coffee and you'll save, $3 a day. And I hate that advice, because I love my coffee and I'm not giving that up.
Yeah.
But I might be, spending my money on a subscription that I signed up for 6 months ago that I forgot about, that I don't use. You know what I mean? So it's really important. Just go through.
That's great. And I think that just by what you said empowers women right there to go, okay, I can actually still have some joy here.
Yes.
Because my coffee makes me happy too.
Yes.
And if I cut that out, then a piece of me is going to feel dead. It's going to die. And I love that. And just looking at the things that don't matter anymore, then you can get rid of those things. But if it truly matters to you, one thing that truly matters to me is having organic food. And so it's like, well, cut down on your grocery bill. Well, that truly cuts down on my quality of life. I love it. Sylvia,
so then if you want that, it's like people who say, well, I still want to buy the nice shoes. Well, buy the nice shoes. No one's telling you can't do that. But what are you going to get rid of that you don't actually need or that you don't actually want? And you won't know that until you look line by line at your bank statement. And a lot of people don't want to do it because they don't want to face what they've done. And, and the things that they've spent their money on. But that's the only way. You've got to kind of, look, you can take the Band-Aid off slowly or you can rip it off. But either way, the Band-Aid's got to come off and you've got to look at what's going on.
Hey, that's all the time that we have for you today, folks. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching intently. Stay tuned, because next week for part 2 with Sylvia is gonna be mind-blowing. Don't forget to share, don't forget to like, and don't forget to subscribe if you love this show, and share it with all your mama friends. I truly appreciate you very much, and I hope that this show and all the other shows are making a deep impact in your life. See you next time for Money Month Part 2 with Sylvia Chierchia.
Here comes the money. Here we go. Money talk. Here comes